Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and today I'd like to show you, as it was requested by one of you, I'd like to show you my actual collection of weapons and armor, meaning all the different swords that I own and all the different pieces of equipment that I own, and also will distinguish and I'll tell you a little bit the story of those implements, where I got them, when I got them, how I got them, those that I purchased through Patreon donations, those that I purchased through crowdfunding, and then ultimately the ones that I bought myself. So we're going to have a look at every single piece I own of weapons and armor. Some are really good, some are really bad. When I started collecting, I was only 17, so of course there were things that I just couldn't afford. Now, starting at my wall here, you can see I've got at the bottom I've got a Glados. It's just a very simple Glados for training. It is very light. It's on the light side, but it's good for when we do sparring in armor. As you can see, the tip is missing because of all the stabbing I've done on my friend Saber. Then this is a little bit of a cheap Glados. I'll move it around later and perhaps show you how it moves. It feels alright, but it's very cheap, of course. But it's not the cheapest you can get there. It's sort of medium quality, but eventually we'll get a good Glados, but this is what I have at the moment. And this is probably the best weapon I have. It's a Okeshot Type 12, the long-time viewers of my channel already know this sword. I even made a video review about it. It was made by Elgar Swordsmaker, a fantastic piece, very, very beautiful. I bought it with my own earnings as a teacher. But luckily I could pay it half price because that was before Elgar's became popular and actually almost doubled the prices. And I think that honestly his swords are really worth it. It's a beautiful piece, spring steel, sharp, marvelous. 13th century, of course. Now we've got a Tanegashima Teppo Matchlock type Aquabus 16th century replica from Iron Mountain Armory. Japanese, just think of Oda Nobunaga. This is the stuff that he was giving to his samurai at the time. Very popular in Japan, copied by original Portuguese weapons. Then I've got two Bokto, and actually they're made of two different kinds of wood. In fact, the dark one is tougher, is stronger, and slightly heavier, and the light one is actually a Bokto I bought when I was 17 years old. So it's a long time ago. It's a very old Bokto. As you can see, we have fought and sparred a lot with it, of course, with protective gear. Then I've got this sword. It's just a wall hanger, and it's made just of stainless steel. It looks pretty, so it's nice as a wall hanger. It's not practical, it's not balanced like that one, and it's there for decorating, and I think it has a very beautiful. Then more wooden swords, and as you can see, again, we use them. Then I got a pilum. I think eventually I will buy more. I sometimes enjoy throwing it. At the moment I can't really throw it very far away, but I'm training, so we'll see. And perhaps one day I will make a video where I show you my progress. Could be a good idea. At the moment I don't own a good quality katana, but I own a good quality nodachi, and I bought this one from a friend of mine from Germany, and he sent it to me. He paid for the shipment, so it was a very good deal. Thank you, Martin, for this. It's a beautiful sword. I oil it every week. It's a very nice sword, and I will move it around a little bit later to show you that an odachi is a fantastic weapon, but it's a weapon that you need to get used to because it has a lot of mass towards the end because of this monster blade. This one is not sharp. You can make it sharp if you want. It's not one of those impossible to sharpen blades. This one can be made sharp, and it's a very, very beautiful piece of high carbon steel. Now this is a sort of it's an interesting piece. I got it from a pawn shop, so it's a very old piece. It's a saber, of course, fencing, sports fencing saber. Personally, I enjoy using it, and I sometimes swing it around because it makes a very nice noise, and I will show you that. It's nice to use. And this is again a sort of a very cheap fencing sword, very, very cheap. Again, one of my first purchases. It looks nice, it looks the part. Now I'm not particularly bothered about this sword. I don't know if any of you likes it. I might even give it away, to be honest, because I am preparing a giveaway, and I'm considering some of the things that I own that I don't use anymore. I'd like to give to some of you. So of course, keep watching, because it will happen in the next couple of months. I think that I will finally have this giveaway, and I will see what things I can share with you, members of my community. Here's just a bunch of cheap stuff that we use for testing, and I might even break into pieces one of these days and just make a video about it, because this is just very, very cheap stuff, so we can see how a good quality blade compares to a poor quality blade. It could be an interesting destructive video. Then I know that some of you noble ones would like to see me cut stuff. You told me that, and I apologize if my knife review videos are not really high quality at the moment, and I don't have much experience with that, but yeah, cutting with knives and swords and weapons and destroying stuff is definitely something I'd like to do in the near future. It's not as easy to do in Italy because of the fact that unfortunately Italian laws don't really help. I'm not even allowed to go out with a butter knife, to be honest, in Italy, so never mind going outside to cut stuff, and I don't have a garden, but I might see what I can do in my home. I can't do it in the balcony either because they call the police, but I'll see what I can do within my own home. I do have a almost empty room that I can use, and normally I use for filming. It only has a green screen and some lights, so I think I can do some cutting there, and so yeah, it will happen. I will start destroying stuff in the near future, just for fun. Okay, this Roman scutum that you see here, it's on the cheap side again, one of those mass-produced ones, and soon I will get a proper scutum made by Fabbrica Cacti, and I will still keep this, and as you can see I have used it again for fighting and for sparring. Then as soon as I get the properly made one, I will have a comparative video where we will see how much the weight is different, how apart from the aesthetics, of course. At the top here in the rim, the metal rim, those are actually katana hits, because during a fight against my friend Salvo. Moving on to the armor side, you can see that as you know, I own 2 sets of armor, of samurai armor made by Iron Mountain Armory. Now I'd like to specify that the black samurai 16th century Tosei Gusaku samurai armor, I completely bought it with Patreon money, so of course thank you so much to my patrons for that, and I think I got it a few years ago, maybe two and a half years, I don't know. Spooky how time flies when one is having fun. But yeah, this comes entirely with Patreon money. And the second samurai armor that I own, which is actually 13th century, 14th century sort of armor, this one, more 14th century I'd say, this one comes from the recent crowdfunding that I had, and I gotta say that I was really amazed to see that people are still donating, like the occasional $20 still appear, so I just left it open, and anything I receive on that crowdfunding I will use for armor. And as you know, I didn't use the entirety of the money I received on this samurai armor because I got a discount from Iron Mountain Armory, and therefore I am actually investing the rest of the money onto a 13th century knight set. At the moment it's late 13th century. If I manage to enlarge my budget a bit more, then I think I might go for early 14th century and start introducing a little bit of plate there, but we'll see, and it will be really, really cool, so we'll see. Probably Northern Italian. I think I'm going for Northern Italian 13th century knight. Also for the Roman part, as you can see, I've got a Lorica Hamata. This is a gift from a subscriber. Again, thank you so much for this, and it's fully riveted, well, half riveted, half solid rings, and it feels good. It's a very nice armor. I'm very happy with it, and I gotta say, the only thing is that you gotta be fit, because if you got a little bit of belly, it will show. Male is like this, okay? So you need to make sure you're careful with your McDonald's or your pasta. If you want to look good in male, that's one thing. I've been working on it myself. Then I've got a Lorica Segmentata. Now I'm happy with the Lorica Hamata I have. I'm not particularly happy with the Lorica Segmentata I have because it's on the cheap side. It's not like the cheapest you can get. There are some Lorica Segmentata that look really terrible. This one looks bad, but not terrible. And I gotta say that now I'm looking forward to the new Lorica Segmentata that I have ordered again from the crowdfunding campaign money from Fabbrica Cacti, and so this good Lorica Segmentata will arrive soon. Unfortunately, it takes time. I've also ordered a new helmet, this time through Patreon money. but it will take the Pustelak brothers who are making the helmet 1 year to make it. So when you buy proper stuff, well, it takes time. Even the sword, the Elga's sword that I showed you before, that one took them, I think, 8 or 9 months to make it, because they're very busy. It's a long process and they get a lot of orders, so that's why these things take time. Talking helmets, as you can see, I always have like 2 helmets in the background when I use my vlogger setup, for my simple videos. And on the one on the left is an Imperial Gallic Roman helmet, type H. It's my favorite type. Of course, this is again a cheap one, but it's all right. Personally, I don't think. Medieval cheap helmets like the one you see on the right look terrible. Roman cheap helmets, they are okay. They don't look too bad. Probably because the designs are sort of easier. It's like when you have like a very cheap nasal helmet, and it's still okay. It's not that a huge difference with a high quality one. There is a difference, of course, and it's quite evident when you know how to look. But a cheap one can still be believable. But when you look at a cheap armet, for example, or a cheap frogmouth, oh gosh, they look terrible. Maybe the hound skull is the worst looking one when you go cheap. Bassinet in general. So you do have to be careful with medieval helmets. If you want to get a medieval helmet, wait and get a right one. Now, this green armor that you see here is a armor that I got when I was into role-playing games, and it was supposed to be sort of an elven set for me. It's made of tanned leather, and it looks okay. It looks good. It's a good-looking armor. But now taste changes with aging, and to be honest, now I'm not particularly interested in this one anymore. In fact, I'm considering selling it. Probably I will sell it half price, because again, I'm not interested in making money with it, and I don't use it. It just gets dust. So if someone who does LARP and plays an elf, for example, or maybe an orc, wants it could be a good idea. He can get it for probably, I think I'll go like 40%, not even half price. I'll just sell it cheap. It doesn't matter. I'm not actually selling it to make profit. I'm just selling it because I'm not using it. This one here is an interesting piece. It's the Malthael set, and it's based, of course, on the boss of Diablo 3, the expansion, Reaper of Souls. It's handmade by my friend Alessio Mannino, fantastic craftsman for cosplays. He's specialized in cosplays, and I'll just link his Facebook page down below if you want to see more of his work. And I think it's a stunning piece, probably one of his best, to be honest, and because it looks just like the thing, like it's exactly like Malthael, and I think Malthael is a fantastic character, the fallen angel. And the reason why I wanted it is also because, apart from the fact that whenever I go to a Etna Comics or events for cosplayers in Italy, I'd like to go to Lucca Comics next time up in Tuscany. And then I like wearing this one, and I do it, I'm proud of it because it looks exactly like the thing. So it's a cool piece, I gotta say. And it's cool also because, my channel, Metatron, it's the name of an angel, an angelic being, and Malthael is an angel as well, so I thought it was cool. Down here, curiously enough, I still have my karate protective gear when I practiced Kyokushin karate, so full contact karate in Japan. I just brought it back from Japan. Occasionally I wear it. This one here, it's a very cheap crossbow that I bought just for towing because it was I bought it for half price. It was sort of a special thing, so I think I bought it for like 30 euros. It was super cheap. Okay, so now let me just swing around a bit of these weapons, and then I'm going to destroy. I will find something I can destroy in my home, and I'll just destroy it with a couple of weapons just for fun, and then until I can actually get something proper to make some actual cuts. So this destruction part doesn't mean anything, okay? It's just for the sake of it. when someone looks at my collection, a lot of people think, wow, this guy must be a millionaire. Hey, are you rich or something? But to be honest, the most expensive stuff I got from either patrons or people who supported me on crowdfunding, on my crowdfunding campaign. And for the rest of the stuff, well, I have been buying this stuff since I was 17. So we're talking about almost 20 years. And in a lot of instances, I also had, either a reduction, half prices. I always wait. I'm very patient. I wait for the right moment to make a purchase. So with that, I think I could build a collection even without being rich, because I'm just a normal guy. I don't consider myself to be rich, and I definitely don't come from a rich family. Quite the opposite, to be honest. In fact, actually, I remember this comment on one guy who saw my first samurai armor when I first released the video, when I was like, hey, my new samurai armor, look at this, check this out, guys, and that sort of thing. And he was like, wow, your armor and this video are an insult to poverty and people in Africa who can't eat, and you've got just a couple, and you've got like a spare 2,000 euros to waste for armor. And to be honest, no, this video is actually a nice representation of people's generosity, and most importantly of what it means to work hard and to believe in yourself and believe in your dreams. Plus, I'm not one of those people who don't think of those who are in need. I of course do, and in fact I am considering, I'm creating now a line of t-shirts, because I already have my t-shirts through Teespring, the Metatron line, and I'm creating a few other lines with the help of some graphic designers, because I'm not good at doing these things, but I am considering, I want to make also some t-shirts for charity, so that part of the money from those t-shirts will go to charity, and I believe it's nice, the fact that, and the reason why I could do this is because now I have sort of a voice on YouTube, so all the hard work and also the videos that I made through the armor that you guys got me is now allowing me to be able to help people who are in need. So no, that armor and the rest of the stuff I have are not an insult to poverty, but are actually a way to be proactive, to believe in what you do, and it's a dream coming true, meaning that the idea of having your hobby becoming a source of income, I think it's a beautiful thing. I feel very lucky and fortunate, but I gotta say I also had to put a lot of hard work, and of course it's because of you who watch my content. Alright then, well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content from the Metatron. And remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye, and believe in your dreams.